I'm Mark Pitts in for Jerry Lawler. Ron Salzroot, Petland of Iowa City, is here, and let's get right to it, all right?
All right.
It's time for the amazing pet story of the week.
All right, Ron, here you go. This is from a website called Best Friends, okay?
Like that.
This is a story from Holly in Texas and Cosmo the cat. Holly says she adopted Cosmo from a shelter in Houston, Texas, when she was a few weeks old. Since then, she has been with me through countless life changes and moved with me across 3 states and into 6 homes. That's a very patient cat.
That is.
That's a very patient cat.
9 lives.
Yeah, well, apparently 9, maybe 9 plus. She's now, get this, 18 and a half years old.
Aww.
Wow. And still going strong. In that time, I have switched my husband into a cat guy. And it's been wonderful seeing how much my 4-legged son. There must be a typo there. Well, it says here that my 4-year-old son. I said, why did I say 4-legged son?
I like it, though. That was funny.
4-year-old son has grown to love her and care for her. I hope she is with us for many more years.
You know, okay, I do have a sad note. We lost our cat.
And I'm not recording. Why wasn't I recording?
All right. Here, YouTube says we're on.
YouTube says they're live.
Yeah.
We haven't re-recorded for the radio people.
All right,
yet,
so we're gonna do redo.
We got to redo.
This is real life redo.
I'm on 2 straight nights of 5 hours of sleep. So.
Yes, I am not. I'm on like many, many more hours. So I'll be your positive. So we're just gonna go straight into it.
We're going to go straight into the pet story.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for the amazing pet story of the week.
All right, Ron, here we go with the amazing pet story of the week. This comes from a website called bestfriends.org. All right.
And I like that. Best friends. Sounds good. Sounds positive.
Yeah, and so this is a story from Holly in Texas and her cat Cosmo. Holly says, I adopted Cosmo from a shelter in Houston, Texas. Good heart there on that woman for doing that. Got her the cat when she was a few weeks old. Since then, Cosmo has been with Holly through countless life changes, including moving with her across 3 states and into 6 homes.
Wait, that is 9. It's like she's following the 9 lives theme there. I don't know if she's
3 and 6 is 9.
Yeah, and then she on the front end she talked about live. I think she's playing the 9 lives theme here.
Yeah, and actually the cat has apparently done better than 9 lives. Cat Cosmo is now 18 and a half and still going strong in that time. Holly says she watched her husband turn into a cat guy, and it's been wonderful to see how much her 4-year-old son has grown to love her and care for her. I hope she is with us for many more years. So,
all right, so
Cosmo the cat, 18 and a half.
Yeah, and I have, except for that moving around stuff, I've got a lot of similarity to this story. But unfortunately, Gilbert, our cat, just passed away within this last week. Yeah, so that was, it was hard.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting journey. Ours was adopted. It was from a family that had too many pets.
Okay.
And Dad said, something's got to go, one of those things. And our kids had already made friendship with Gilbert, and their mom called and said, hey, would you like a pet? And so we said, for sure. And I grew up in a family that wasn't really not, fun towards the cat kind of thing. The cat killed a bunny right in front of me. I was like watching the wildlife outside, and a cat came in. And that kind of just put things off in that field, But at this time, when Gilbert came into our house, they even like let Gilbert go in the house. It came right to me, and I was just sitting down on the floor. It laid down and curled up right on my lap. So it was a very warm, and I go, well, I guess I've been adopted, kind of thing.
Got me.
So now, 18 years later, I was the caregiver. Gilbert and all of our pets go through rough times and all that kind of stuff where you're working with the veterinarian on things. 3 months ago, Gilbert, we saw the downhill. We were right where this story is 3 months ago. We thought Gilbert was going to go into 20, and then all of a sudden the downturn occurred. And worked with food and all. It was a not eating kind of issue. There is a product, and we'll talk about that on another show called Rad Cat. We have it in the store. It's a holy cow. You can get a cat to eat again when they have rejected all different kinds of soft foods and all that. But anyways, my relation to the story is quite personal, and Gilbert just we're still mourning it in our house.
All right. Well, condolences to the Solzruth household. But an amazing cat in Texas, Cosmo.
Cosmo.
Eight and a half. And I guess it's kind of interesting. She turned husband into a cat guy.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just now her 4-year-old son has. I mean, it's a great learning tool in terms of how to take care of a pet and care for something and give it, a lot of attention.
We talk about that all the time on this show. And in the store, there was a customer that came in and said, "Hey, we have to give up marriage." And things have changed for that family. And we talked about it for a little while. I go, so, is it, a child just not taking care of it kind of a thing? Or is there other things going on? And it did come down to a child got him, was all exciting, and now things have changed. It's not, and all that. I go, you know what? That does happen. And it happens in all of our families, even to the best of us that make the commitment, kind of a thing. And so what I think is a hidden secret about America is that we are so good at finding another home. That family was saying, how can you help us find another home? They didn't just release them or anything like that.
Yep.
And I think that's where America really excels. And it's hidden because we always go, you can't get rid of them. Sometimes it does happen. And I think America is so strong that we talk with each other and say, hey, in fact, Mark, you and I have talked about it on, hey, I've got this. Hey, is there something we can help you with and all that kind of stuff. And so we all help each other on that. So good story.
Yeah, so there's our amazing pet story of the week. To find more amazing pets, of course, you can always visit Petland in Iowa City. Continue on the Positively Petland show here on 800 KXIC. And we'll just give a minute about it. A new track. Let's. 800 KXIC. We continue on the Positively Petland show here on a Sunday. I'm Mark Pitts in for Jerry Lawler. We've got Ron Solzruth brought us some puppies, and they're a little chilly right now, apparently.
Well, they're a little nervous. They're on air. This is the first time on radio, and so they're a little shaky. So we just got to give them a little cuddle and a little love, and they'll call.
It is a little chillier in the studio than it has been.
Yes, the air conditioning is working very well.
Yeah, we got the air conditioning unit installed a couple weeks ago, just in time before the heat really kicked in around these parts, and so yeah, it's a little cooler than what we're used to. Good for us humans, but maybe not so much for the puppies.
Oh, they're going to warm up. I think theirs is more adrenaline because they're nervous.
Well, yeah, they're in celebrity presence. So yeah, relax. I get this all the time. All right. So what do we have with it? Well, let's talk about the brief.
We can
introduce our guest.
So you have, which is kind of interesting. You have a malt. I have a malt Sean, also known as teddy bear. Mine is smaller than yours, and this is into that whole growth pattern thing. I almost guarantee that the one that's in my arms is smaller right now, but will explore as an adult. Just hasn't gone through the growth spurts. So we have two gorgeous little puppies in our studio right now. If you wanted to see them online, you can go to YouTube, search out Positively Petland Show, and you're going to find a YouTube video of our show here. You can go to Facebook, Petland, Iowa City on Facebook, and just scroll down a little bit, and you'll see a 360 video. And like right now, front and center is the little Shih Tzu Bichon.
Yeah, you were throwing me off because you've got your phone laying there, and then you've got the camera that does 360. From my vantage point, initially I forgot about that camera. That it looked like it. Why is Ron holding the dog's butt up to his phone? Because it's right over your phone.
Oh, is that why you were laughing? You're like, what are you doing? Okay. No, I like it on the camera. It kind of supports the face a little bit. So, all right. So moving into the breed of the week, we're reviewing the Beagle. So we do have a couple of Beagles in our store right now. And I always like to review different breeds every week because there are so much variety out there. So that if you are, let's say you had the experience with a large breed dog and something you just didn't like about it or you loved about it, well, know that there are other varieties out there that give you other experiences. So if you're afraid of shedding, if you're not into the big dogs, let's look at the little dogs. If you're like, that was too much maintenance, well, let's look at those low maintenance. So that's the neat thing about dogs is there's so many different varieties out there. So Beagles, I'm reading from the petlandiowacity.com website under breeds and the Beagle specifically. This is from the AKC, so it's a really fun way of learning about breeds. You can tour through all the different breeds on the website. So, the Beagle, a sturdy hunting dog. The Beagle should look like a foxhound in miniature. His hunting ability combined with a merry personality. As I'm chuckling because we have a merry personality right here. This one wants to get down so bad. I'm gonna.
This one's getting a little active.
Yeah, I think they want to play. So I gotta put mine down here a little bit. So I don't know if you heard all the squeak, and that was him jumping around. Right. So the Beagle has a merry personality, has made the Beagle one of the most popular dogs in the United States according to AKC registration statistics. The most famous Beagle of all is
Snoopy.
I totally forgot about Snoopy being a Beagle until when I was reading through this. I'm like, what? From the comic strip Peanuts, today's Beagle comes in two height varieties, 13 and 15 at the shoulder, and any true hound color, including tricolor red and red, white, and lemon. The history of the Beagle in the 1500s, most English gentlemen had packs of hounds. Larger hounds tracked the deer, while smaller ones went after rabbits. These were the first Beagles. The origin of the name Beagle may have been derived from the French term beugler, referring to the baying voice of hounds when in pursuit of game, or possibly the diminutive size of the hound. So the Beagle has been around for a while, but it has changed in its shape and size over the years. They do come in those two sizes, but I do find that is kind of more blended these days as far as the 13 and 15. I'm not seeing that much in breeders anymore where they specifically do 13. I think on the AKC side they do. So those really the show breeders and all that kind of stuff, I think they're still into it big time. But I think people that are breeding Beagles in general are not doing that as much because they just don't hear it as much. Temperament, Beagles are happy-go-lucky and friendly, making them a wonderful family pet. They are also favored for their compact size and short, easy-to-care-for coats. So the Beagle is easy to care for because of those short coats. You don't have to get them groomed. You don't have to brush them out. But they are a shedding dog, and they're a medium shedding dog. So you're going to notice a little bit of shed around the house. Like I said before, if you grew up with a Labrador Retriever and said the shedding was too much, the Beagle might be the way to go because you're going to you, the Beagle doesn't even shed because you're like, well, it's nothing compared to what I had with a Labrador Retriever. Since they lived in packs for hundreds of years, they naturally enjoy the company of other dogs. Never read anything like that before with other breeds. That's an interesting observation. They're curious and comedic. They often follow their nose, which can lead to some mischief if they are not provided that daily activity. So like all dogs, they do need to run. They are a medium-sized dog, so you're going to need to run a little bit more with the medium-sized dog. For instance, the Bichon Shih Tzu and the Maltese Shih Tzu in the studios here, these are going to be small dogs. They're going to get all the exercise they need in your house. If you go for walks, that's just bonus. So know that when you go larger, they're going to be needing more of certain things. Food, obviously, their vet bills are going to go up just because of their size. And then the exercise is going to be needed more. So the AKC recognized them back in 1885, so that'd be here in America. They are known for hunters, a rabbit hare hunter, but then for families, they are one of the top-rated family pets as far as dogs go. Apartment dwelling is okay for a beagle because you're going to get outside with them. And then the active indoors, but they do have a disclaimer on here, and sometimes loud. So beagles are known for baying, which is something that it's the thing. It's not the call of a wolf. It's a beagle sound that they put out, and that is something that beagles are known for. If you're al natural and you let the dog do what it wants, you're going to hear the baying and all that kind of stuff. If you're into training, that is a trainable where you can train them to not bay and work with them on that. That's a lot of what we do with customers that have an issue. In fact, I remember about 10, 12 years ago, I had a customer all about the beagle. They got the beagle. They then called with the beagle. We're in trouble. And I go, what's going on? We're in an apartment. I knew the beagle was loud. I just didn't anticipate people complaining.
Yeah.
And so I said, this is what we're going to do. But within 24 hours, we had them figured out. They had a plan of action. They got to keep the beagle. They got to stay in the apartment, and the other apartment dwellers were A-okay. So yeah, there are all sorts of options that you can take as far as training goes to get that under control. Moderate daily exercise, love large yards, very easy care because of that short hair and a slightly smaller body than large breeds. Occasional brushing, keep ears clean. This is with those bigger ears. You're going to want to clean them. That's very easy. And then average shedding in general. So that is the beagle. Is that the right breed for your? What about you? Would that fit in your family?
Well, we certainly would welcome less pet hair laying around. Our lab Josie, it's amazing when you think. And we put in some hardwood floors in our living room, laminate stuff. But I did myself, thank you. But we still have some rugs there. One where Josie likes to lay. So you think it's not a lot of carpet to vacuum up, but man, the amount of dog hair in that vacuum cleaner canister.
Isn't it amazing?
From just 5 minutes of wow, crazy.
We are about to get something. It looks very revolutionary on getting pet hair off of furniture. We've talked a lot about the Furminator in here.
Yep.
So getting the fur off the dog. They've come up with this tool on how to get the hair off your furniture.
Okay.
They got a little handheld one, and then they've got more of a one that you would use on your furniture, so a wider one. There's no electricity in this thing, so it's not like an electronic device. And I am really interested to get it in our store. It's on its way now. We're going to have some demos in the store, and the rep was talking about it and said how good it was.
So I no longer have to wrap myself in duct tape with the sticky side out and roll around the couch like I have
Mark,
been.
that's a good visual.
I don't have to do that anymore?
No, you don't have
I won't have to? All right. This is the PAWSitively Petland Show on 800 KXIC, KXIC.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. And Ron, where people can also get them watch the show online, but remind people how they can
we are
view
on,
this as well.
We are on YouTube, so just go on YouTube, search PAWSitively Petland Show, and you're going to find us there. You'll see all of our past episodes. And then on Facebook, you will also see segments on there. So just scroll down, and you'll see the 360 cam that we got in there.
All right. Before we move on to summarizing your pet, I'll give you a plug for the story.
So we're Petland of Iowa City. We're over in the Marketplace Mall. We're across from Lucky's Market and now the newly opened Joann's. If you haven't checked that out, that is I thought, a very well organized and stocked. The variety I thought was over the top, especially for the size, and the sizes are good for what they have. So impressed so far. And if you haven't downloaded their app, Joann's has got above average app. If you're into the crafty stuff, you might want to check that one out. So we'll plug over there too, or across the parking lot from it. Petland of Iowa City. Our hours of operation on Sunday is from noon until 6. And then Monday through Saturday, we're open from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. But on Sunday, we're open at noon. So then people love to take advantage of our buy 10, get 1 free on all of our dog and cat food. We track it for you. And then we also have the $5 nail trim. But if you got your pet from us, it's free. So just come on in. We'll keep your vaccination records on file. So it's just as easy as that. No appointments necessary. So come on in and take advantage of all that.
All right. And get some puppies out and watch them play. These two are really chasing after each other right now.
Yeah. Things on our desk are moving because of what they're doing down below. They are doing laps, and I love that. So, all right. So we're going to talk about summarizing your pet, and this one was from the channel 4 nbc4.com. It was just a article that they must have done a show on and everything, and they were preparing you for 4th of July. And I like what they said because it really was more summarizing your pet. And that's why I use that theme, because this is good stuff all the way through. And it kind of hits some topics that you normally don't think of. So in the summer, I don't know if statistically this is correct, but I would think that animal control finds more stray dogs in the summer than we do, just because we get them out more and all that kind of stuff. So on that note, they were big on get your pet's microchip. It's simple and low cost. Getting a microchip is really not that big of a deal. It's just it looks like a vaccination, goes right underneath the skin, and then it's permanent. So get that done. Sometimes there's some local low cost microchip events and all that. That's step one. And they're saying like before 4th of July, so this is getting like ready for 4th of July. This would be for any event that you're going to. I think the key, and they do go through this on their next step, go get it registered. So when the veterinarian does that, it's in your dog, but right now it's not doing anything. And so you got to register the microchip. They'll hand you a form. Make sure you fill that form in, send it in. There is some cost associated with it, but different programs, and you can research this out, have different fees. For Petland, if you got your pet from your dog or cat from Petland, it is microchipped and it is registered. It was done before you even walked out that door. We are so adamant about that. But you do have to register that microchip in order for it to be useful of any kind.
Sure.
And so make sure you do that. Why is that important? Just picture your dog, cat comes into the animal shelter or a veterinarian or even our store Petland. We strays come in and we scan for microchips. Get the number, which is unique to that pet. And then we go on to this national database that all of us use, and we find out what's your name and address, and then we give you a call and say, hey, we just found your pet. If you're not registered, that doesn't happen. So that's why the registration is so important. All right. Make sure they're wearing an ID tag. That's a great general rule of thumb. I think we all kind of get that. Know that doesn't replace the microchip. Go to the animal shelter and just ask them this question. How many dogs come into the shelter with an ID tag? And they'll say very, very few. Think of this. People were walking with their dog, and the dog gets spooked because of a firework or because of something else, backs out of the collar. Where's the collar now? They backed out of it.
Right.
On the end of the leash, which is in your hand, which is not on the dog.
Right.
And so they say that must be common because very few come in with their ID tag. I think it is a precaution that you can take really quickly, easy, and it's always kind of fun to put a little saying on the ID tag or whatever. So get your dog ID tag securely fastened to their collar. Have a current photograph available. Again, for all Petland dogs and cats, we have a program where you can send out an alert, 50-mile alert, that is for a life of your dog or cat. And that makes have a chance of getting your cat or dog back 82%, which is phenomenal because the normal success rate is somewhere around in that 30% range. If you have, with our program, it's called Help Me Find My Pet. It brings it up all the way to 82, and so having a current photo is really important because people here. This is how it works. They send out an email, 50-mile radius, to all those that are members, and we have a lot of members across America as well as locally here. But they also send it to shelters and to police departments, fire departments, veterinarians, so that anybody that, hey, I found this dog out there, they scan it and they'll be able to see it. The photo, though, works as if, let's say you're driving down the road. Mark, you see a dog over there, but you see some people a little further away. You go, I think it's I think it's associated with them because you're late for work right now and you got to go. But let's say we back up a little bit. You were on your email last night and you notice, somebody lost the dog, and you see the picture, the current picture. Now you're driving and you look over, you see that same dog, people a little bit away. Hey, but that dog is exactly the same dog I saw on the picture. That's a stray dog. So now I'm late for work. They're going to understand. You're going to pull over. You're going to pick it up. And now you're going to have all the information on your email.
You would think they would understand, but
maybe
so
not.
Much. Anyway.
And so now, that's where that 80 comes from. Because more people are likely to stop and say, hey, I need to.
Yeah, get that and take the picture. It's a lot less cumbersome than having to put the picture of the cat on a milk carton because that's it's labor intensive. There's high cost of the carton.
Right.
The printing.
We get pictures. We get that. We get those flyers in our store. People bring them in and we post them, but not many people see them because it's just it's in the corner of the store.
It's a pretty narrow audience.
Yeah, it's a narrow audience. So getting a picture using what we have, Help Me Find My Pet, for all of our Petland dogs and cats that we're free. Check backyards to make sure those fences are repaired and the gates are secure and patch any holes or places where they can escape. I think that's a no-brainer. Remember, celebrations, including fireworks, start well before the 4th of July. So they're just warning you that these are things that spook, our pets, and then they can back out of that lead, or my dog doesn't need a lead, and all of a sudden it runs away because the firework goes off and it thinks the world is falling. So now you're on the day of the event. So whether it's the 4th of July or, I know in the cities there are more fireworks throughout the summer. It's not just the 4th of July anymore. So all throughout the summer, it says if you're going to fireworks display, a parade, a cookout, or anywhere where you might find those firecrackers, sparklers, fireworks, leave your pets at home. This is that one that I said, yeah, I'll leave my pet at home, but there's a lot of us that won't. And so if you do, let's take some extra precautions. Put a harness on your dog so it's more secure. Don't just leave your dog run around. Hold on to him, kind of a thing, just in case something happens. I think that would be a nice added to that if you insist on taking your dog. What they don't talk about are water events. Know that there are life jackets. There are some dogs that sink. They don't float. And so you have to have a life jacket on them. Pugs don't float. They sink. And it's almost like you feel bad for them. So
2 words: pug, doggy, paddle. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't berate the pug because
pugs say we try. We're just not formed that way. If you're going to stay alone, they're suggesting to leave the TV on. If you do crate training with your dog, put them in the crate. We've done that as well. Our dogs are very comfortable in the crate. That's like their own little bedroom kind of a thing. They've got fun stuff for them in there, and they actually run in there throughout the day and just hang out for hours. And so when we're gone, fireworks are going on or whatever, we'll definitely put them in the crate. Gives them a little more security and all that kind of stuff. Let's see here. Just because they've never slipped their collar, this is that one where don't think it's not going to happen. Because when that really unexpected thing happens, they're going to do whatever they can to get out of there. And so they're going to do unusual behavior. So make sure you have a secure hold of your pet, a harness on your pet. Take extra precautions when you're going out, especially during the summers, especially when you know there's going to be unusual things like fireworks or water events or parades, something like that. Make sure they're taken care of as far as hydration and sun level. Know that dogs release their heat a little differently than we do. We sweat most of our heat out, and then it evaporates, which increases the coolness that we feel. Dogs do it mostly through their mouth, and that is the vapor that comes out. If you put your hand in front of their mouth, you'll notice it's hot, and that's how they're getting rid of it. Important part of getting rid of heat for dogs is very similar to us in that they have to be well hydrated in order to get rid of heat. So make sure that you have plenty of water for them. And dogs, especially those shorter hair dogs, especially on their tummies, can get sunburned. So make sure that you protect them or guard them against that. Some things that they say are hazardous: lighter fluid. This is a dumb thing. Lighter fluid, and I think they are talking about drinking lighter fluid as well as what is Nash got a lid. Citronella-based insect repellent. Again, they don't define it in this article, but I do think they're talking about drinking. They're not talking about like you can have the tiki torches and all that kind of stuff going on. Alcohol beverages. Okay, they are talking about drinking, and we should all know that that is harmful to the pets and all that kind of stuff. So no alcohol for those little creatures. And how are we on time?
We got about 2 minutes.
Okay, so let's just see if there's any highlights on here. They're just going through, we've covered the really big stuff already. So that in a nutshell then is how to protect yours. What I loved about this is how it started on the front end about microchipping, about making sure you got the collar on there, put in a harness on top of it if you're going for a walk, especially during 4th of July, just to have that bigger security. Just be aware that your dog is going to potentially do something abnormal, and you're not going to be prepared for it. So these are ways you can be prepared.
Okay. Sounds like these two little guys are about had enough of each other. Now they're starting to growl at each other.
Now that's all play for them.
Yeah,
they're like,
that's all cool. So Ron Salzroot is here with Petland of Iowa City. It's the PAWSitively Petland show as we put our cap on things. And of course, if they have any questions, they can just contact you guys out at the store. How do they find Petland?
We are Petland of Iowa City in Iowa City over at the Marketplace Mall, also known or used to be known as Sycamore Mall, located across the parking lot from Lucky's Market and Joanne Fabrics and Panera Bread and all those other wonderful stores that are in our mall. Our hours of operation, noon till 6 today, and then Monday through Saturday, we are open from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. Come and take advantage of our $5 nail trims. If you got your pet from us, then it's and then our buy 10 get 1 free on all of our dogs.
All right. Sounds great. PAWSitively Petland show Sunday mornings at 9. I'm Mark Fitz in for Jerry Lawler. For Ronald Salzroot, have a great weekend. Stay cool. We'll do it again next week.
Thank you.